Hey guys, it is the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you an awesome video. Some of the best themed roller coasters in the United States, in my opinion. And overall, this is a really cool list. But I did have to narrow it down quite a bit and add some other rides as well, because some of these are like really well themed. So, yeah. Let's start out and give a shout out to my dad. It's his birthday, and he really wanted me to make this video, and I said, why not? Make a cool video for him. My next video will be the best themed roller coasters at Cedar Point, like a top 15 or a top 10. I'll decide on that later, but let's get started with Verbolten at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This coaster is very well themed. Just looking at the trains can tell you that this coaster is very well themed. It's kind of like an Autobahn style kind of theme. It's really cool. The queue line is very elaborately themed. The trains are really cool, as they are a classic 1950s, 1960s car from Germany, like a Porsche is what it kind of resembles. And this coaster has some really cool theming inside the building it goes through, like through the indoor section. Overall, really cool ride. Verbolten, very cool coaster. Definitely the best themed coaster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So, yeah. Now we're moving on to any Disney or Universal roller coaster, like Universal Studios Florida or any of the Disney parks. They have some very elaborately themed coasters, which include the Incredible Hulk coaster, Expedition Everest, Space Mountain, the Rock and Roller Coaster, as well as the old Dragon Challenge Racing B&M inverted coasters. So overall, Disney coasters are just so well themed. I had to combine a bunch because I want to put some other coasters that you wouldn't expect here, and some that you won't talk about as very well themed. But overall, very cool themed rides, I should say, because there's multiple rides. But we are going to move on to Fire Chaser Express at Dollywood. And Dollywood, amazing park. They've been recently getting tons and tons of new coasters. In 2016, they got Lightning Rod, but Fire Chaser Express was their new for 2014 roller coaster. They got this coaster in 2014, as I said. But this coaster is really cool. It has some very good theming, as it's themed to firefighting and firefighters and fire trucks and stuff like that, and trying to save people from fires and stuff. So the train is really cool on this coaster, as it's a red fire train style train. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's kind of resembling a fire truck in some ways. And this coaster is amazing for the families, as tons of people will really enjoy this ride. And it has some fun launches and some elaborate theming throughout the ride and the queue line as well. So, yeah. We're moving on to Cheetah Hunt, and this coaster is at Busch Gardens, Tampa, and is a very well-themed roller coaster. It was built in 2011, and it's still a great ride. It has some really cool theming with its cheetah-like trains, the queue line, and it goes through a cheetah-like terrain, kind of like a cheetah would, running through it and stuff like that. And it's a really cool ride. Cheetah Hunt, even though its max speed is 60 miles per hour and it's not the most intense ride in the world, it's still a very fun experience and a really cool ride at Busch Gardens, Tampa, with its launches and drops and inversion and turns as well. So yeah, we're moving on to Manta at SeaWorld San Diego, and this is a really cool ride, as it's themed to a manta ray. Just looking at the train and the queue line and stuff like that will tell you that this is a very well themed coaster. And I could have put other SeaWorld coasters on here, but you probably know Mako's a very well-themed ride at SeaWorld Orlando, and the other Manta, the one at SeaWorld Orlando, is very well-themed as well. So, yeah. We're moving on to a Cedar Fair roller coaster. I had to put this one on here, Flight of Fear. This coaster has a really cool space theme with And I've been to the Flight of Fear at Kings Island, and overall I really enjoyed it in the 2017 season. I actually started to like it. In 2016 I was never a fan of this ride, but now it's pretty solid in my opinion. It's pretty solid. It seems like it got better or I got used to it or something. But overall, a very cool ride as it has an alien space style theme, and I really like outer space and astronomy in general. And there's just like a bunch of aliens all over the place and a giant UFO in the queue line as well. Don't forget that. There's a giant UFO, some cool cartoon that they play in the queue line, so it's a really cool themed ride. And it has a space-like set of trains, so yeah. And that giant UFO is definitely really cool. And you walk through it, by the way. Next, we have another Kings Island coaster slash Kings Dominion coaster. It's Backlot Stunt Coaster, and this is also located at Canada's Wonderland. Despite being a clone at 3 different parks, this is a very cool roller coaster with like a ton of really cool elements, such as a very intense launch and a helix where you will gray out, which is very cool, and a very sudden and small drop at the end of the ride. This coaster is just such a fun ride. I love Backlot Stunt Coaster. Definitely a very underrated roller coaster. Despite being a clone, it's very underrated in my opinion. And finally, we have Time Traveler. Just starting out with the trains. Oh my goodness, this coaster is just so awesome. Like, just the finest details are so easy to find on this train. Like, just looking at it right now, all the gears and stuff, like, just so many elaborate details are just on this train. Like, this is a brand new ride too, so. And I've seen Coaster Studios' review on Time Traveler. This is a very good ride. And he said that the theming on this is amazing. Just starting from the station with its elaborate theming and the queue line and stuff. It's an amazing themed ride with the time travel. And Time Traveler, definitely one of the best new for 2018 coasters with its unique inversions and spinning. It's the largest spinning coaster and definitely the best spinning coaster in the world. And the trains are just a little bit of the theming that this coaster has. Just such a really well themed ride. And it's new for 2018 as well, so it's going to be a very popular ride for a few years here. And for many years to come, it's going to be a very popular ride as long as it can maintain its smoothness and stuff like that. So, and I've heard that's also a very fun ride too. So that is all for this video. Shout out to my dad. He really wanted this video for his birthday. And yeah, my next video will be the top 10 or top 15 roller coasters at Cedar Point, like best themed roller coasters, I should say. Top 10 or top 15 best themed roller coasters at Cedar Point, and many videos soon to come in the next few days, and potentially a top 10 coasters at Kings Dominion. So yeah, thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more videos. Bye.